A harsh land is testing every creature that sets foot on it. Every gust of wind carries the scent of a predator. Here, speed, strength, or vigilance only buys more time. Because the dominant forces are present everywhere, across the grassland, beneath the water, and in the sky. To survive, every creature has only one choice: adapt or disappear. In the middle of the Serengeti grassland, a lioness suddenly launches from the tall grass. In an instant, an entire wildebeest herd of hundreds scatters into flight. The first thing they do is not run individually. It is to keep the herd as large as possible. For wildebeest, staying in the middle of a crowd is always safer than running alone. The lioness does not try to chase the whole herd. She focuses only on the individuals at the edges, because while the herd holds its formation, it is very difficult for a predator to lock onto one precise target. But that stampede draws others. From the east, spotted hyenas appear, using the chaos to search for any individual separated from the herd. Within minutes, one wildebeest is pushed away from the group. From that moment, the most important thing for it is not to run faster. It is to find a way back to its own kind. The hyenas do not drive in immediately. They continuously change position, forcing the prey to change direction. This is a war of attrition. They have far superior endurance over long distances. The wildebeest keeps turning to face the opponents, horns angled outward. This protects the hind legs. A single bite there is enough to end its ability to flee. After many minutes of being worn down, the wildebeest suddenly changes direction and drives toward the riverbank. It is not looking for water to hide in. It is using the terrain to cut off the pursuit. At the edge of the steep bank, the wildebeest slips and falls close to the water. The hyenas stop above, hesitating on the slippery slope, and the prey has just gained one more chance to live. The wildebeest is barely back on its feet when the water suddenly explodes. Crocodiles launch upward all at once. The shallow water right at the bank edge is their best ambush position. With no way back, the wildebeest drives every last burst into a series of leaps, jumping over the bodies of crocodiles surging forward. One beat too slow, and the escape route closes. Repeated snaps press in from all sides. The wildebeest does not swim straight across, but moves along the shallows, searching for a lower section of bank to return to dry land. But just as it pushes toward the bank's edge, two hyenas have already circled down to cut it off. They drive in, aiming at the hind legs, because the moment the prey slows, the chase is as good as over. The wildebeest spins, drives its horns toward the opponent, and shoves hard. One hyena is thrown sideways. The other stays close. Mansolto, continuously changing angle to avoid the horns. Right at the fiercest point of the standoff, an adult hippopotamus rises out of the river, roaring across the entire stretch of water it claims as its own. The hippo drives straight toward the hyenas. Before that charging mass of several tons, the entire clan is forced to scatter. Even the crocodiles pull back deeper into the water. The arrival of a completely uninvolved species has accidentally created a precious opening for the wildebeest. It channels the last of its strength, launches up the bank, and runs straight toward the herd. Once back among its own kind, a predator will find it very difficult to lock onto a target within hundreds of moving bodies. For wildebeest, survival lies in the strength of the group, but at the edge of the acacia forest to the west, another species lives by its own speed and vigilance alone. That is the impala herd. While grazing, their large ears keep rotating continuously. Hearing is the first line of defense before the legs have to do the work. Concealed in sparse grass, a wild dog pack is silently pressing closer. They do not drive in immediately, quietly splitting their formation, preparing for a coordinated hunt. Only when the lead dog accelerates does the entire pack launch at once. Two groups press both flanks. The remaining group pushes from behind, gradually narrowing the space to separate the impala herd. Exactly as planned, one impala is cut away from the herd. With no numbers to shelter it, survival now depends entirely on its own ability to navigate alone. Instead of running straight, the impala keeps changing direction at high speed. Elastic tendons and powerful hind leg muscles allow it to cut sharp corners while holding pace, widening the gap. Ahead is a dense thorn bush. The impala does not slow, it springs over. The pack is forced to go around, and those few seconds of delay are enough to reverse the hunt. Enough distance has been created. Ahead, the herd is still moving as one large mass. It channels everything it has left and drives straight toward the only safe place. Only a few strides later, it has blended back into the flow of the herd. What keeps the impala alive on the savanna is not strength, it is the ability to react before the predator closes in. The wild dog pack gives up, the prey absorbed into the distant herd. But across the river, a dry branch cracks in the undergrowth, and a pair of spiral horns rises through the leaf cover. That is a male kudu, the largest forest antelope. Its spiral horns more than a meter long. It lives along the forest edge, because out in the open grassland, those horns would easily expose it to predators. The ones to spot it are two hyenas, the same two that missed the wildebeest this morning. They quietly encircle from the forest side, pushing the kudu toward the exposed stretch of river. Cornered at the riverbank, the kudu does not hesitate. It drives straight into the water. Among all antelope species, it is the strongest swimmer, and right now that is a considerable advantage. Its large body helps it float well, powerful hind legs driving it across the current. It moves confidently out into the middle of the river, trusting that the water will stop its two pursuers. But it does not. Hunger has overridden caution. Unable to watch the meal escape, both hyenas plunge into the water, forgetting the danger the river demonstrated earlier this morning. The pursuit below the surface begins. The kudu is already exhausted from the chase through the forest, its stroke growing slower. Behind it, both hyenas drive in hard. Within minutes, the two hyenas are swimming close behind. But despite exhaustion, the kudu still has a slight speed advantage in the water, keeping them just close enough to follow, but unable to close in. Suddenly, the water erupts. A massive dark shape launches upward, jaws snapping shut in an instant, clamping onto the hyena swimming closest behind. That is a crocodile. For it, the nearest and slowest in the water is the target. The hyena thrashes, held tight, then is dragged down into the murky current. The hunter has become the prey in an instant. Seizing that moment of chaos, the kudu channels its last reserves, drives through the final strokes, and grips the far bank. On the bank, the kudu glances back at the river for a moment, where the one that unintentionally took its place is sinking below. Then it turns away and quietly fades into the acacia forest. On the other bank, the surviving hyena has just managed to escape. It stands in silence, helplessly watching the water but where its companion is struggling weakly, then turns and walks away alone. Late afternoon, the muddy trail where the hyena was pulled under slowly clears. The hoof prints still mark the bank, but the one that left them has been at the river bottom since the sun was still harsh. Small waves lap at the bank, slowly erasing the footprints in the mud. The crocodile rolls back under and waits for the next moment, as the river surface settles into the fading afternoon light. At midday, the Namibian desert sinks into scorching heat. The air shimmers above the sand, and most creatures have already withdrawn into shade. But just beneath that seemingly still surface, a world of hunting continues without pause, where death arrives in ways no one anticipates. Look at that flat expanse of sand. It is concealing a perfect trap. A small, round trapdoor covered in sand and silk, perfectly camouflaged within the desert. Directly beneath that door, a trapdoor spider waits in silent ambush. From the burrow entrance, countless fine threads radiate outward, turning the surrounding sand into an invisible sensing net. A cricket wanders off course and touches a thread. A split second later, the trapdoor snaps open. The spider launches out and seizes the prey, then drags it straight underground, faster than a blink. In the dark burrow, venom seeps into the cricket's body and gradually liquefies everything inside. The spider then simply sucks out the contents and leaves behind an empty shell. That is death arriving quietly from within. But nearby, another hunter chooses a far more blunt approach, ending prey through raw, unadorned force. A burrowing scorpion with pincers as wide as a thumb. It barely needs its venom. A cricket walks past, the pincers snap shut, and the chitin shell shatters. The exposed flesh is torn apart immediately by its mouth parts. Same prey brought down, but it and the spider represent two completely opposing methods of hunting. On the same patch of sand, one creature was liquefied from within and one was crushed from without. two outcomes, and neither shows any mercy. At the smallest scale, venom and strength are evenly matched. But as size increases, the two paths diverge further, and the price each hunter must pay grows heavier. That price is most visible in a Central American rainforest. Beneath shafts of sunlight filtering through the canopy, a pit viper lies coiled and still beneath dry leaves. A forest mouse picks through the undergrowth, nose close to the ground searching for seeds. Every tiny vibration travels up through the branches, and the eyes above immediately lock on. The pit viper strikes in a flash. Hollow fangs drive deep, pump venom, and release instantly. The mouse lurches upright and bolts through the leaf litter, believing it has escaped. But the venom has already spread silently through the body, destroying tissue. After a few more steps, the mouse staggers and collapses. Only now does the pit viper calmly follow the scent trail. Strike and release. That method saves energy. But right in this same forest, another hunter brings down prey the opposite way, by holding and never letting go. In the dense, dark, damp forest understory, a boa constrictor lies coiled. It carries no venom, but those muscular coils are enough to suffocate any prey. A mouse forges its way closer to the tree root, where the boa lies hidden. The moment the prey enters range, the boa launches like a spring and wraps tight around it. That method of constriction costs more energy, but leaves the mouse almost no chance at all. The boa swallows the prey whole right there, no need to follow a scent trail. Two hunters, two different bets. One trusts an invisible venom, the other trusts the coils of its own body. And the price each pays is nothing alike. At the middle scale, venom and strength each carry their own cost. But if the two were forced to face each other, who would remain standing? The answer is waiting in Africa. Here, nature places two extremes side by side. On one side, venom potent enough to kill a large animal. On the other, strength capable of hauling a carcass up a tree. At the edge of the East African savanna, late afternoon, a cobra more than 2 meters long glides quietly through low grass, head slightly raised, tongue continuously flickering to probe the air. In a tree 10 meters away, a leopard opens its eyes, the powerful shoulders tightening under the spotted coat. It has just spotted the shadow moving below. The cobra stops, raises half its body, and spreads its hood wide. That threat display has made many large mammals hesitate, but the leopard continues to press closer in silence. The first strike drives straight forward. The leopard tilts aside and sweeps a paw hard across the snake's body. The fangs only manage to sink into the grass. The second time, the venomous head snaps forward like a spring. The leopard immediately leaps back. When striking, the snake is extremely fast, but changing direction is always slower than a four-legged opponent. After only a few exchanges, the leopard has already identified that weakness. It keeps circling to the side, each step pressing closer behind the snake's head, beyond the reach of the fangs. Suddenly, the snake spits venom straight at the leopard's eyes. The leopard tilts its head just in time. The spray grazes past the ear and falls onto the grass. But every missed spit drains the snake's venom reserve. The next time, a portion of the venom catches the leopard's muzzle. The leopard jerks its head, eyes squeezing shut, staggering back several steps. The snake immediately seizes the upper hand. The snake rears again. The leopard seizes the opening and drives in, pinning its head to the ground. But in that same instant, the fangs also manage to sink deep into a paw. The struggle ends only when a dry crack of breaking bone sounds. The snake's body goes limp, but the last of its venom has already entered the leopard's bloodstream. Leaving the snake's body in the grass, the leopard walks on, but the venom is already destroying its body from within, and it collapses. The leopard falls. Its chest rises and falls more slowly with every breath, its eyes seeing nothing now, only the distant sound of buffalo carrying faintly to its ears. Venom overcomes strength. Strength overcomes venom. But the next creature is entirely different. Nothing sharp can penetrate it, and no drop of venom can seep into it. An East African riverbank at dusk, murky water drifting slowly by. 2 meters from the bank, a Nile crocodile moves beneath the surface, only its eyes breaking the waterline. A herd of impala picks its way to the water's edge, stretching their necks and lowering their heads to drink. Beneath the flat surface, the long shadow is already moving toward the slender legs. The water explodes. The enormous jaws launch out of the mud, clamp onto a leg, and wrench the impala downward. It claws frantically, but it is already too late. The crocodile rolls beneath the water, trailing mud and white foam. The prey thrashes desperately in the murky current, then disappears completely beneath the surface. Not long after, the stretch of river returns to its familiar calm. The crocodile's eyes still float in the current, while the impala herd has already retreated far from the water's edge. In bodies as enormous as that, strength decides nearly everything. But nature is not built only from massive jaws and great blocks of muscle. In rock crevices, beneath leaf litter, or inside tunnels under the sand, there is another world entirely, where a single drop of venom can accomplish what muscle cannot. Beneath the sand, the spider still waits behind its silk door. The scorpion holds its pincers ready among the rocks, and the snake waits in darkness for the first signal from prey. On the grassland, the bodies of the leopard and cobra gradually become part of the savanna. Out on the river, the crocodile lies still, as though the battle of the afternoon never happened. From the smallest creatures beneath the earth to the giants ruling the waterways, every species carries its own weapon, sharpened across millions of years. And right now, somewhere out there, another hunt has already begun. One careless step, one very faint vibration, sometimes that is all it takes to decide life and death. Dawn over the Serengeti paints the plains golden to the horizon. Air seemingly quiet, but beneath, every creature has begun moving. Every creature here lives under one law: hunt or be hunted. But that boundary isn't fixed, always changing with each moment. This morning, in an acacia tree amid grassland, a small bird nest hides in high branches. 2 chicks, days old, huddled together, waiting for mother. But when mother bird is absent, A gap immediately appears. Another creature silently climbs from tree base up in absolute silence. Black mamba, over 2.5 meters long, among Africa's fastest snakes. Extremely powerful venom, but now it doesn't need to use it. Chicks cannot run. It presses close to nest edge, head entering inside, preparing to attack. Panicked chick cries immediately ring out, tearing morning silence. That cry doesn't vanish into thin air. 50 meters away, a creature foraging immediately raises head. Mother secretary bird has heard her young. Secretary bird, over 1 meter tall, famous for snake hunting ability. Long stilt-like legs with hard talons create stomps with force 5 times body weight. It charges toward the acacia, long legs striding powerfully through grassland, wings beating hard, taking flight. It doesn't run but flies, reaching tree base in just seconds. It sees the snake right in the nest, head already in attack position. Mother bird doesn't hesitate, immediately lunging onto lower branches, closing in from above. Mamba withdraws head from nest, opens mouth threatening, revealing characteristic black mouth interior. But secretary bird doesn't back down. First stomp strikes down middle of snake body. Mamba writhes violently, coiling back, seeking chance to bite back. But mother bird withdraws leg faster. Mamba falls from branch, striking ground. Secretary bird lunges after, stomps several more times, confirming target motionless, then returns to check nest. In just minutes, the hunter became prey. Mamba fallen under secretary bird's feet. Speed and venom don't always beat precision and experience. But the reversal chain on the plains hasn't stopped there. At Serengeti's edge, the river is where advantage can vanish after just one wrong step. A male lion advances to riverbank. Dark brown mane, rippling muscles, over 200 kilograms of pure strength, only coming to drink after a long night. It lowers head, muzzle touches a river surface, slowly drinking water. Eyes half closed, vigilance decreases, a rare state for the plains apex. A few meters away, 2 pairs of eyes have already surfaced on water. Nile crocodile ambushed at bottom since early morning, waiting for prey to step into attack range. Water surface explodes. Crocodile lunges up, clamping tight on lion's muzzle, then pulling hard, underwater, where grassland king's advantage immediately vanishes. Lion roars, bites back at crocodile's mouth. Over 200 kilograms of muscle on land, resisting 500 kilograms pulling force underwater. Surrounding lions don't dare approach. Crocodile spins around. Death roll pulls lion's head underwater, when claws and large fangs nearly lose effect. But male lion isn't ordinary prey. It pulls crocodile to shallow water, front legs striking back at crocodile, beginning to find way to retreat onto shore. After over a minute of struggle, lion gets ashore, but crocodile still bites its tail. Lion jerks hard one last time, springs back onto shore. Only a bite clamping on empty air remains. Lion lies on shore, breathing heavily, muzzle torn. It stands turning back, walking away, understanding that every kingdom has borders. Underwater, crocodile silently sinks to bottom. Hunt failed, but that patient ambusher will still wait for next less fortunate prey. Male lion moves far from river. Brown mane long since dried, 200 kilograms, still majestic. But blood scent spreading on a wind is signal opportunists won't miss. It stops amid grassland, lies down, licking wounds. Pain still present, but cleaning is mandatory because infection can kill slower than fangs and claws. Not far away, spotted hyena pack, humped shoulders, has scented lion blood spreading on wind. This is both rare prize and revenge opportunity. Spotted hyenas have top bite force among carnivores, enough to crush buffalo bones. One individual cannot face male lion, but entire pack is different. Hyena pack advances, forming encirclement. Laughing sounds ring out like coordination signals. Male lion raises head, recognizing it's surrounded. It stands roaring loudly, brown mane bristling, displaying authority. But pain remains, and hyena pack recognizes this is an injured individual. They advance further. A few lunge biting hind legs, then retreat probing. Lion counterattacks, but bite misses due to pain. Hyena pack immediately recognizes that sluggishness. Others begin from behind, biting thighs and tail. Each time lion turns around, another direction gets attacked, making defense gradually collapse. Male lion resists fiercely. One swipe hurls hyena far away, but remaining ones continue tightening circle, taking turns biting, making it gradually exhaust. After minutes, lion slows, hind leg buckles slightly. Hyena pack recognizes advantage. Laughing sounds intensify. Attack rhythm faster. Ending approaching. Then another roar tears through space, deeper and stronger. Entire hyena pack immediately freezes, turns looking toward grassland. From afar, another male lion appears, larger and stronger, dark black mane. It charges straight into formation, breaking encirclement, forcing hyena pack to immediately reassess situation. Black-maned male lion swipes nearest hyena, making it tumble. Next strike tears shoulder of one biting injured lion. Hyena pack immediately breaks formation. Entire pack turns, retreating, no longer maintaining coordination. Injured one runs slower. In an instant, battle completely reverses. Two male lions stand close together. Injured one breathing heavily, bites overlapping. The other vigilantly surveys surroundings. Alliance helps them overcome all dangers. On the plains, size creates advantage, but alliance is the factor determining long-term survival ability. In Africa, crocodiles are lords underwater. But across the Atlantic, in South America's Pantanal wetlands, relationship between big cats and reptiles operates differently. In shallow water area, Cayman crocodile sunbathes. After meal, head and back protruding, in state of lost vigilance, it exposes weakness at skull apex. Above water's edge, On low, overhanging branch, jaguar is observing. This is big cat famous for hunting caiman, with skull-piercing bite from above. Weighing over 100 kilograms, jaguar possesses bite force superior to body size, enough to pierce turtle shell and caiman skull. It doesn't need speed, only one precise strike. Jaguar doesn't jump from branch, but slides down to water's edge, walking underwater in absolute silence, closing on caiman in just meters. At 1 meter remaining, it compresses entire body, hind legs pressing deep into mud. Caiman still motionless, completely unaware of danger right above skull. Jaguar bursts from water surface, lunging onto prey's back and sinking jaws straight into skull apex, piercing through bone into brain. Caiman jerks once, then motionless. In just seconds, everything ends. Jaguar holds jaws tight to confirm prey, then drags heavy carcass wading back through shallow water to high shore. In Africa, Nile crocodiles dominate water surface, where even lions must avoid. In South America, caiman faces cat that doesn't fear water, can be brought down by one precise strike. Dusk descends on 2 continents. In Serengeti, 2 male lions lie close together under tree canopy. In Pantanal, jaguar vanishes into forest. Each carries its own story. In nature, every reversal begins with one small mistake: choosing wrong position, wrong timing, or wrong opponent. On the plains, there's no absolute ruler. Lions strong on land but weak underwater. Crocodiles dominate rivers but inferior on shore. Mamba fastest still loses to secretary bird. Hyenas strong jaws but lose to lion alliance. And that cycle never stops. Tomorrow morning, another individual will try its luck again, and just one small deviation is enough to create different outcome. Survivors continue moving. Secretary bird protects nest. Lions rest under canopy. Jaguar hides on high branch. Hyenas return to pack with still fresh wounds. Dusk gradually fades over Serengeti. Cricket sounds replace bird calls. Wind carries scent of wet grass. River shifts from orange to purple, yielding to night. Survivors prepare for darkness. Secretary bird guards young. Lions lie close together. Jaguar licks muzzle on high branch across the ocean. Wind gradually erases all traces. Ants clean bones. Water washes blood. Grass covers claw marks. When night falls, plains return to empty state. As last light leaves the Serengeti, plains whisper with thousand sounds of transition. In Africa or South America, the law unchanging. No absolute predator, only moments, positions, and mistakes enough to reverse everything. Mid-morning on the African savanna, as the sun begins to pour down on the parched earth, life does not stop. It simply shifts to a different tempo. There is no shade for refuge, no place to hide completely. This is a land where every creature must expose itself to the sun and to one another. From a small burrow beneath a tree, a small head emerges. Dark, beady eyes scan the surroundings quickly. This is not curiosity. It is a survival habit repeated every day. The daytime savanna belongs to those who dare to venture out when the sun is harshest. And among them, there are encounters that neither side planned for. The Egyptian mongoose, a small carnivore widely known for a skill few others on the savanna can match, dealing with venomous snakes. Measuring about 50 centimeters long and weighing less than 2 kilograms, its reflex speed is among the fastest of any mammal of its size. The mongoose is equipped by evolution. Modified acetylcholine receptors make the cobra's neurotoxic venom act significantly slower on its body. But resistance to venom does not mean total immunity. A large enough dose or a bite in the right location can still be fatal. Not far away, a long, glossy object moves slowly through the grass. It makes no sound. Only a slight ripple on the blades of grass serves as evidence. The mongoose stops. Its nose points forward, the distinct scent of a large reptile, unmistakable for anything else on this savanna. To understand the gravity of the coming confrontation, one must look at the creature slithering toward the mongoose, one of the most dangerous and common venomous snakes of the Dark Continent. The Egyptian cobra, up to 2 meters long, capable of accurately spitting venom into an opponent's eyes from over 2 meters away. Each bite injects enough venom to take down a full-grown human. Beyond its toxicity, its main advantage is strike speed. A strike is completed in under a quarter of a second, exceeding the reflex time of many equivalent predators. However, as the opponent closes in, the strike's effectiveness decreases. Distance becomes the decisive variable governing the probability of success for both sides. The two detect each other at less than 3 meters. The mongoose lowers its body and bristles its neck fur, while the snake spreads its hood and coils its body into an S shape. Both are ready for war. This is a language both species understand without needing to learn. Every posture is a message. I am not retreating, and I am readier than you think. Both hold their positions, neither advances. This is not hesitation, it is calculation. In this battle, the one who strikes first is not necessarily the one with the advantage. The snake sways its head slowly, tracking every movement of the mongoose. This is a psychological tactic to distract the opponent, creating a moment of diverted attention to strike. The mongoose is not deceived. It moves forward half a step, then retreats. Forward, then back. Not out of fear, but to read the snake's reaction time. The snake lunges with a fast and precise strike, but misses. The mongoose evades in a split second. No one is hurt, but information has been gathered by both sides. The mongoose counterattacks immediately, without hesitation, lunging straight for the snake's neck, a strike taking less than a quarter of a second, which the mongoose has practiced since it was young. The snake breaks free and coils back instantly. Both return to their original positions. The tempo spikes. It is no longer a probe. The battle has truly begun. The snake lunges, using its strength to bite quickly toward the mongoose. The mongoose closes its eyes and turns its face back, evading perfectly. The thick facial fur acts as a second barrier. The venom clings to the surface. The snake used one of its most effective weapons and failed. The mongoose accelerates. No more stepping back and forth. This time, it is a continuous assault, forcing the snake to strike repeatedly. Every strike from the snake is an opening the mongoose is waiting for. The snake gradually loses the initiative, shifting to a coiled, defensive posture. This stance limits attack angles, but simultaneously reduces its ability to control distance. The mongoose focuses on the back of the head, the area controlling the nervous system. A precise bite here can quickly neutralize all resistance. The snake thrashes violently, trying to escape the encirclement. Its long body sweeps across, pushing the mongoose away. The mongoose is tossed back, but does not fall. All four paws hit the ground instantly. This is the moment many other predators would stop, but not the mongoose. It returns with the same speed, maintaining pressure, demonstrating a resilient strategy selected by nature. The snake strikes one last time, more accurately than before. Fangs graze the mongoose's shoulder, but the thick fur and skin block part of it. The amount of venom injected is not enough to change the outcome. The moment the snake retracts its jaws after that bite is the final opening. The mongoose does not miss. Its jaws lock onto the back of the snake's head, the target it aimed for from the start. The snake coils around the mongoose, trying to use constricting force, but the mongoose does not let go. The bite force increases steadily. This is the decisive phase. The first to lose control will lose everything. The snake's movements slow down, not from exhaustion, but because neurological damage begins to spread from the bite site. The mongoose holds its position for nearly 40 more seconds. No rush. Waiting until movement completely stops. It is extremely cautious. When the snake is entirely motionless, the mongoose still bites down hard. Nothing changes. The battle ends in a way this species has repeated thousands of times before. The entire event took under 15 minutes, but every second reflects accumulated evolutionary data. No factor depended on mere luck. The mongoose drags the snake back to its burrow, a typical behavior for the species. No victory celebration, just a necessary meal after energy has been spent. In the ecosystem, the mongoose plays the role of a natural population control for venomous snakes. No other predator in this area performs that function. But the mongoose also faces increasing pressure, shrinking habitats, dwindling water sources, and competition with larger predators. The cobra faces similar trends. Declines in many areas are mainly due to environmental changes, exceeding the short-term adaptive capacity of both species. This raises a larger question. When one of the two disappears, how will the rest of the ecosystem adjust? There is no simple answer. Today's battle is a very small part of a much larger picture. Every species in this system depends on the existence of others. The mongoose carries the snake to its burrow. There is no reason to linger. The day is still long, and the savanna sun waits for no one. The savanna keeps no memory of what happens upon it. The wind erases traces. The sun dries what remains, and the cycle continues the way it has always operated. These two species have coexisted on this continent for millions of years, not because of peace, but because of balance. One side is dangerous enough to force the other to evolve faster. The mongoose will return to its burrow before dark. Another cobra will emerge when the temperature drops. This loop has no beginning and no end. Of all the lessons nature can teach, perhaps the simplest is also the most difficult to grasp. No species exists alone, not even the best predator. And as the first darkness touches the horizon, the savanna does not ask who won or lost today. It only prepares for what will happen tomorrow. The rains have just passed, and the savanna wakes in lush green. Following the new growth, hundreds of thousands of herbivores pour back in, creating the largest migration on the planet. The most numerous are the wildebeest. Moving among them are zebras and impala. In the distance, the tall necks of giraffes rise above the acacia canopy. But the fertile grassland has never belonged only to the grazers. Every day, somewhere in the vast sea of grass, individuals are separated from the herd and disappear. Lions hunt the slowest. Hyenas seek out the weakest. Wild dogs chase calves that have strayed from their mothers. And when it is all over, vultures clean up whatever remains. But the following day, the savanna is still crowded, and the season after that. For thousands of years, these herds have never run out, though death is always present. The answer lies a few dozen kilometers away. Across stretches of low open grassland, hundreds of thousands of female wildebeest are gathering in the same place. They choose the open ground not for concealment. Here in the savanna, where there is almost nowhere to hide, their greatest weapon is numbers. Then calves begin to arrive one after another. Mothers quickly lick the still wet coat dry. And within just minutes, the newborns must already be ready for the first run of their lives. But the peak of calving also alerts every predator. The scent of afterbirth and the calls between mother and calf carry on the wind, drawing spotted hyena clans to the grassland. The open ground allows the wildebeest to spot them early. But this time, the predators have no need to hide. Prey is appearing densely everywhere. One calf is taken before it can stand. Another loses its mother in the sea of its own kind. Calls ring out across the calving ground, but nothing can stop it. The mothers call frantically across the calving ground, but they cannot hold back the tide. There are too many predators, and they barely need to exert themselves to bring down calves this young. But even predators have limits. When bellies are full and energy runs out, they lie down in the grass even though food still surrounds them on all sides. In a single day, dozens of calves may disappear, but at the same time, thousands of others have just been born. Life arrives faster than death. That is the first secret of the savanna. Unable to protect every calf, they choose to produce more than the hunters can take. And while the hyenas are satisfied, the surviving calves quietly grow stronger. Every hour that passes, their legs become steadier and their chances of survival increase. Zebras gradually join the migration. Moving alongside other species, every individual is safer than it would be alone. The stream of animals stretches out, winding across the endless savanna. But that stream does not travel alone. In the faded grass ahead, a lioness lies pressed flat to the ground, patiently waiting for one mistake. She has locked onto an impala grazing at the edge of the herd. Moving forward in silence, she lets the distance between herself and the prey shorten with every step. Just as the lioness is about to launch, the impala suddenly raises its head. Eyes positioned on the sides of its skull allow it to detect the hunter even while still facing away. Too late to stay hidden, the lioness springs forward, but the impala has already bolted, changing direction continuously until the chase ends quickly in failure. Before she has even stopped, she spots another opportunity. A zebra has drifted too close. The lioness lunges, both front paws driving into the prey's flank and pinning it to the grass. But the zebra is much larger and stronger. It kicks out furiously, breaks free of the talons, and drives straight into the middle of the herd, where the stripes are rolling in chaos. In that swirl of black and white, the lioness's eyes can no longer pick out a target. When the dust settles, the entire herd has moved far away, leaving the lone hunter behind. Two consecutive failures, but the hunger still does not allow this hunter to stop. Further away, a mother giraffe and her calf become the last hope. She creeps forward again through the low grass, but then she suddenly stops. From the opposite direction, another lion is also silently closing in on the calf. The one who arrived first loses patience. It suddenly launches toward the calf, but the mother giraffe immediately spins around and delivers a powerful rear kick that sends the attacker flying off the ground. Witnessing a kick that could end a grown predator, the lioness abandons the idea. She turns away, closing a day of failed hunting on the grassland. But not every hunter accepts going hungry. On the eastern savanna, the wild dog pack has already begun its march. They run in a long line, keeping the same stride together, heading toward where the herds are resting. Ahead, the grassland is still peaceful. Zebras and impala continue grazing. Buffalo are scattered under the afternoon sun, and the first lookout belongs to a creature that is part of no particular herd. A giraffe stands in the open, its eyes nearly 5 meters above the ground, seeing further than any other. Its head turns slightly, and the zebras immediately raise theirs. From the zebra herd, the alertness quickly spreads to nearby impala groups. Heads rise one by one, ears turning to face the same direction. Within minutes, the entire grassland has changed. Rest periods end, heads lift from the grass, and hundreds of bodies tense together in readiness. Because on the savanna, news always travels faster than the hunter. When the wild dogs are still far away, the herds already know danger is coming. The pack immediately fans out to approach from multiple directions. Among the countless moving bodies, the entire pack locks onto a calf standing at the edge of the buffalo herd. The chase begins. Panic sends the calf bolting, and within just a few short seconds, the gap between it and the herd has started to widen. But this time, the massive bodies behind it do not run. Every adult buffalo simultaneously turns, moving quickly toward the isolated young one. Dozens of pairs of horns point outward together, forming a living wall. Faced with that fortress, the dog pack is forced to halt and look for another opportunity. The defensive circle gradually opens. The calf wanders back into the middle of the herd and the horns lower. Within minutes, the grassland is peaceful once more. In the distance, the impala herd continues to move. The zebra stripes still stretch across the horizon, as though the chase that just happened never occurred. The wild dog pack has gone. The buffalo herd moves on steadily, carrying with them the calf that the whole group just reclaimed together. But somewhere else on the savanna, new lives are still being born. The spaces just emptied have already quietly begun to fill again. That is how the grassland has operated for millions of years. Life lost in one place is born again in another, in a cycle that has never stopped. Each new generation enters the world with faster legs, sharper eyes, and instincts sharpened by countless generations that came before. And so the predators have never lacked for prey, but the grazing herds have also never disappeared, even though some individuals do not return every day. And perhaps that is the greatest secret of the savanna, not how to avoid being hunted, but how to ensure that life always returns after every hunt, every home. Before the burrow entrance, the puppies lie together. But behind that peaceful appearance are empty bellies and hunger growing larger by the hour. As the East African plains' smallest hunter, black-backed jackal lives in the gaps where lions, hyenas, or leopards always claim the decisive share. On the wide grassland, Mother Jackal leaves den, gliding light as a low shadow. She reads wind, traces signs, seeking the only thing that can save her pups, fresh meat. Weighing less than 15 kilograms, she's smaller than every hunter around her. But she cannot afford mistakes, because just one failure could end an entire generation. Few hundred meters away, mother warthog leads piglets digging roots on soft ground. Tiny young ones toddle around mother's legs, taking life's first steps. No hunter foolishly lunges at angry mother warthog with sharp tusks. But piglets less than a week old remain weakness that cannot be hidden. While foraging, she suddenly freezes. Head snaps up. Open grassland shows nothing suspicious, but uneasy instinct has made her whole body tense. Piglets still carefree foraging. They don't know in distant grass. A black back is slipping through grass, advancing, not hiding itself, but deliberately allowing detection. She advances close enough for scent to reach mother warthog's snout, and reaction as predicted. Mother warthog notices. Body stands firm, tusks open in defensive stance. Jackal advances just slow enough to always stay in mother warthog's sight. No reaction, no attack, only keeping prey's gaze locked forward. Mother warthog has fully turned back toward piglets. All attention focused on opponent ahead. Breathing becomes more rapid. Behind, grass stirs slightly in rhythm, not belonging to wind. Two black shadows leap from behind, swift and precise, as if rehearsed 1,000 times. Before piglets can cry out, each jaw has snatched one prey, then vanished into grass seeds. Mother warthog spins around, seeing piglets diminished. Tiny cries, completely swallowed in tall grass. She chases few steps, then freezes. Jackal scent has dispersed in all directions. She returns to flattened grass trace where piglets were just stolen. Snout touches still damp earth, moves around briefly. Search has ended before it could begin. Before burrow entrance, jackal pups fight over meat mother just brought back. Hungry whimpers turn into hurried chewing, adding bit of life force to young bodies. But that's not enough to feed entire growing litter. Mother jackal looks at still hollow bellies, then turns back toward grassland, leaving behind unfinished cries for food. Entire pack heads west again, where mother warthog still remains. They hunt not to stockpile, but because pups in den still wait for more food. By now, mother warthog has hidden remaining piglets in dense grass clump. Little ones nestle nursing. She lies beside, trying to regain strength after hours of tension. Grassland gradually settles. Wind only carries dry grass scent and hot earth. No more signs of predators that just appeared earlier. Then grass ahead stirs slightly off wind's rhythm. Behind also stirs in same pattern. Mother warthog jumps up, recognizing encirclement has closed around her. Jackal pack doesn't charge in again. After first success, they've learned hardest thing to overcome isn't mother warthog's tusks, but her position beside piglets. One steps out from low grass, then stands blocking ahead. It doesn't circle away like previous times, but deliberately holds position in mother warthog's sight. Mother warthog immediately charges forward. For her, driving predator away from piglets always safer than waiting for danger to approach. Jackal flees, not too fast for mother warthog to give up, nor too slow to be caught. It maintains exact distance that hunting instinct cannot easily ignore. Mother warthog accelerates. Each time seemingly about to touch, Jackal edges few more meters away. Chase continues across increasingly wider grass spans. Then she suddenly freezes. Where are the piglets? Grass clump where they hid now only has young warthogs running. Jackal still continues running ahead, but this time, Mother Warthog no longer chases. Sudden unease grips her mind tightly. She turns, charging back. And right then, from distance rings out piercing shriek of one piglet, then second sounds. Cries continue rising, then fading, one after another. Distance just stretched now becomes something Mother Warthog cannot overcome. She sprints full speed across grassland. Dust kicks up after each stride, but each time, she always arrives one beat slower than Jackal Pack. Returning to shelter, only one remains huddled under Mother's belly. Around it, flattened grass trails spread every direction like traces of just completed plunder. Only now does Mother Warthog understand Jackal Pack's tactics. They never intended to bring her down, only lured her away, letting distance itself finish off each piglet. But hunt isn't over yet. Remaining piglet suddenly loses composure, bolts from grass clump, charging straight into open ground ahead. One jackal immediately chases, each stride shortening distance. Young one too small and too slow, while Mother Warthog too far to save in time. Jaws only handspan from small tail. Everything seems settled. Then from behind, heavy snort tears through air. Mother Warthog charges like furious mass of flesh, pouring last remaining strength into the gore. Tusks hurl nearest jackal flying. Entire packs startle scattering. Hunter suddenly becomes the struck. Lead male freezes, watching Mother Warthog spin within encirclement without retreating. Her eyes no longer fearful, only ferocity of one with nothing left to lose. Piglet runs back, hastily burrows into Mother's belly. Mother Warthog points tusks, slowly turns body shielding, making Jackal Pack standing distant, not dare risk further. Finally, Jackal Pack turns, leaving, this time for real. They run toward the den, each carrying one portion, bringing back to waiting pups. Before burrow entrance, jackal pups again rush out competing for food, bellies gradually filling. Mother jackal lies beside, breathing tired, long hunt traded for entire litter's fullness. While west, Mother Warthog leads final piglet away from grass field. Morning's crowded litter now only one small shadow staying close at her feet. Two families leave grassland in two directions. One side carries food, other side carries what remains of litter. Black-backed jackals aren't as strong as lions or hyenas. They survive through coordination, patience, and ability to turn small opportunities into large advantages. While warthogs endure through stamina and ferocity. When pushed to limit, even one mother can turn entire hunt around. These are two very different strategies, but both honed by same pressure: survival on East African plains. Here, hunters and prey continuously shape each other. Each successful tactic forces the other side to adapt better. Therefore, no species keeps advantage forever. Each surviving day is just one small win in game lasting across many generations. And when dawn returns, that race will continue. On this grassland, life belongs to those adapted enough to keep walking. It is dawn on an African riverbank. The water has not yet turned blue. A thin layer of mist clings low to the surface, refusing to disappear. Everything is waiting for the day to begin. A gray heron stands motionless on a rock near the shore, not hunting, not moving, just standing there, as if it understands that mornings here demand silence. Nearby, an antelope drinks, small sips, head down, then up again, scanning its surroundings in a rhythm repeated thousands of times before. This is a place every animal must come to, and every one of them must pay some kind of price for a drink. That price is never announced in advance. Lions, the dominant predators of the African savanna. Strength, speed, coordinated hunting. On land, few animals can confront them directly and come out on top. This pride has several cubs under 3 months old. At this age, their brains are still in the phase of exploration, even toward things their instincts have not yet learned to name. The lioness stops about 5 meters from the water's edge. She looks left, then right, then along the surface. It is a habit, but not a complete safety check. Beneath the water, another sensory system is already at work. Along the crocodile's jaws and body are thousands of pressure receptors. It knew the lions were coming before it ever saw them. The Nile crocodile, a reptile that existed long before the dinosaurs disappeared. And it still hunts this way because it has never needed to change. A crocodile does not hunt in the usual sense. It does not chase. It does not surround. It does not need a complicated plan. It simply waits until the target brings itself within reach. The lioness scans the area one more time. The surface is calm, no unusual sound. She allows the pride to approach and drink. It is the most reasonable decision she can make with the information she has. And that is exactly the problem. This is a problem with no perfect answer. The pride needs water to survive the day. That need cannot be postponed. But every trip to the riverbank means accepting a risk that can never be fully controlled. The smallest cub drifts away. It moves closer to the water's edge than the others. The distance from its mother grows, 10 meters, 12, 15. No one notices. The lioness is splitting her attention between the others and her own need to drink. One animal cannot monitor 4 directions with equal precision at the same time. The bend in the river and the sudden drop near the bank erase the usual warning signs. Lions have no way of reading the underwater terrain, so their ability to judge danger is limited. The early morning light gives the crocodile an even greater ambush advantage. And when several disadvantages stack together, the cub's chances of becoming prey rise sharply. The cub edges closer, crossing into the danger zone. Beneath the surface, the crocodile adjusts its posture without creating a ripple. This is the moment when two worlds are separated by only a thin layer of water. On one side, curiosity and exploration. On the other, a waiting strategy refined over millions of years. The attack comes without warning. The crocodile's jaws clamp shut in less than half a second, with enough force to lock onto the cub's forelimb instantly. The lioness reacts at once, covering roughly 15 meters in under 2 seconds, her roar tearing across the riverbank. But by then, the cub is already being dragged into the water. The crocodile does not need to kill on land. It only needs to pull the prey into the water. Once there, every advantage shifts completely, and the lioness knows that. She charges in up to her shoulders, slamming at the surface. But there is nothing there, only water. And beneath it, her cub is being pulled in a direction she cannot follow. She stops. No more roaring. She simply stands there, shoulder deep in a river that is not hers, staring into the surface with helpless eyes. Below, the crocodile has not yet dragged the cub into safe depth. The cub is still struggling, not from conscious decision, but from the body's raw mechanical reflex against the pull. The lioness manages to bite the crocodile's tail, the only part still within reach. The bite is not enough to injure it, but enough to throw it off for a second. The crocodile responds with a death roll, spinning violently. The lioness is forced to let go, but the twisting changes the angle of the bite, and in that brief instant, the cub slips free. The lioness drags the cub back onto the bank. She does not stop. She does not look back. She retreats farther and farther from the edge until her paws are fully on dry ground. The riverbank is where two worlds touch. The crocodile does not pursue. On land, the game has changed. It knows its limits, just as the lions know theirs. The cub is breathing hard. The lioness begins licking the wound slowly, over and over again. Beneath the surface, the crocodile has already returned to its old position, motionless, almost invisible. Nothing about it suggests failure. To a crocodile, waiting is never wasted. The entire attack lasted less than 15 seconds, but that was more than enough to leave a mark, not in words, but in sensation, in instinct, in reflex. In the days that follow, the pride still has to return to the river, but not at dawn, and not so close to the edge. This is how knowledge passes through generations in the wild. Not through teaching, but through pain severe enough for the body to remember longer than any lesson ever could. The mistake that morning did not belong to the cub. It did not have enough information to understand what it was doing wrong. The mistake belonged to the moment of judgment, to 4 stacked disadvantages. A Nile crocodile can go a very long time without food. Waiting is not a choice for it. It is survival. Every time the lions return to the riverbank, to the crocodile, it is simply another opportunity. Lion cubs in the wild rarely survive their first year. Every injury lowers those odds. This cub may recover if infection does not set in. When drought lasts too long, species are forced to gather around the few water sources that remain. The distance between predator and prey shrinks, and encounters like this one become far more common. The striking thing is, neither side is wrong. The crocodile is only doing what it has always done. The lioness is too. In nature, there is no right or wrong, only outcomes. These two species have coexisted along Africa's rivers for millions of years, not because of peace, but because both sides understand the boundary. The lioness does not know exactly where she went wrong. She only knows what happened. And in this world, the result is the only lesson that lasts. The injured cub carries a lesson today that cannot be taught in safety. It may not understand it yet, but its body already remembers. And in the wild, that is enough. Mistake becomes data. Danger becomes knowledge. And that knowledge, if the cub survives long enough to use it, may become a lifelong survival advantage. The burden is not strength. It is responsibility. The lioness does not live only for herself. Every choice she makes affects her young. Survival is not about always winning. It is a chain of choices, mostly right, sometimes wrong. And one mistake at the wrong moment can change everything. The riverbank does not change after the pride leaves. The crocodile is still there. The water is flat again. Everything returns to normal, as if nothing ever happened. Tomorrow, the lions will come back, but not quite the same as today. The lioness will stand farther away, choose a different moment, keep the cubs closer, not because she has planned it, but because she remembers in her own way. And when dusk falls, the river will keep flowing as it always does. It holds no memory. Only the creatures who live beside it must remember, if they want to survive. Dawn over Africa, first light touches the river surface. Thin mist rises from the still water, covering the sandy bank like an ethereal veil. Along the riverbank, footprints in wet sand tell last night's story. Some came to drink and left. Some species disappeared, never to return. In the distance, a baboon troop approaches the riverbank, then stops on high ground, observing the water below, displaying vigilance mechanisms selected through evolutionary process. This river is both life source and boundary between life and death. For small creatures like the baboon troop, each approach is a survival decision. Baboons are among Africa's most intelligent and fierce primates. Gray-brown fur, elongated face, and good eyesight help maintain high vigilance. Their jaws are fearsome weapons. Canines can reach 8 centimeters long, bite force from 500 to 700 pounds per square inch, enough to tear enemy flesh in an instant. They live in troops from several dozen to over 100 individuals, with clear hierarchical social structure helping maintain order and reduce conflict within the group. Baboons are omnivores, consuming from plants to small animals. Flexible diet helps them adapt effectively to harsh conditions of prolonged dry season. Their notable feature is a sophisticated warning system. Different sounds correspond to each threat, from birds of prey above to predators in bushes. But with dangers underwater, warning signals become limited when forced to cross rivers. Survival pressure forces the troop to choose despite existing risks. The troop leader advances, observing the river surface. In the next few seconds, its choice will directly affect the entire troop's safety. Behind, the entire troop waits silently in tension. Mother baboons clutch their young tightly, as delaying too long can also increase attack risk. The water surface is still, flat, and suspiciously calm. In African river ecosystems, silence often conceals lurking potential dangers. A dark shadow over 4 meters long lies motionless beneath murky water. Only eyes and nose protrude, camouflaged effectively like drifting rotten logs. Nile crocodiles are top ambush predators, with morphology virtually unchanged for millions of years. Their pupils are extremely sensitive to movement. Third eyelid supports underwater observation, helping detect prey precisely within hunting range. Nile crocodile bite force exceeds 3,000 pounds per square inch, enough to crush prey bones. Once jaws have closed, almost no force can make them open. As ambush predators, they can lie motionless for extended periods to conserve energy and only attack when opportunity reaches optimal level. The tactic is very simple but extremely effective. Wait for prey to approach, attack in less than 1 second, and drag underwater to drown. Baboons are well aware of danger, while crocodiles are ready to ambush. The encounter between vigilance and silent strength begins right at this river bend. Finally, the troop leader decides to descend into water, each step cautious. The entire troop immediately follows, maintaining tight formation in this life or death choice. Adult males go first, water rising to their bellies. Behind, females hold young tightly, maintaining high vigilance against sudden attack risk. When the troop reaches midstream, water level rises to adult chests. Young cling tightly to mothers to avoid being swept away. Tension reaches peak. Suddenly, the water surface behind erupts. A crocodile charges with terrifying speed. The baboon troop panics, signals warnings. Formation immediately shatters. Individuals in front rush quickly toward opposite bank, while the rear group turns back. Dispersal breaks troop cohesion, making hunting risk increase. In nature, living in groups helps distribute risk. When separated, solitary individuals quickly become the clearest targets in dangerous environments. The crocodile locks target, not chasing the troop, but focusing on separated individual. This is common hunting tactic, prioritizing weak or slow-moving ones. Crocodile jaws close just centimeters from the baboon. Water splashes high. This individual escapes narrowly, rushing ashore at maximum speed thanks to survival reflexes. On both banks, baboons stand panting. The troop is divided by the deadly water. The first river crossing ends with luck, but not everyone made it to the other side. On the old bank, a mother baboon with young is trapped. She looks across to the other side, where most of the troop has safely gathered. Below the water surface, the crocodile has submerged, restoring initial calm. However, that silence is only concealing danger still lurking below. The mother baboon understands she cannot wait long. Lack of food and troop separation diminishes social standing. She must decide quickly to ensure survival chance. On the other side, the troop cannot wait, begins moving into areas with food. Distance gradually increases, forcing the mother baboon under pressure to act urgently. She descends into water. The young clings tightly to mother's back. Cold water gradually submerges the body. Each step is gambling with fate. Having advanced some distance, she steps slowly. The water surface ahead ripples lightly, then falls silent. Mother baboon is vigilant, eyes scanning along the current. From the right side, the crocodile suddenly lunges up without warning signs. At a speed impossible to react to, its jaws aim straight for the young on her back. Teeth sink deep into the young's leg. A piercing cry rings out. Mother baboon grabs her offspring, pulls back, creating a life-and-death tug-of-war in the water. On the bank, the baboon troop scatters. Warning cries ring out continuously, but no one dares enter the water, can only observe from safe distance. Mother baboon resists by instinct, continuously biting, clawing, and jerking. However, her bite force is significantly weaker than the crocodile's, making advantage tilt toward the predator. As the struggle drifts toward shore, the crocodile gradually loses advantage in shallow water. Seizing the rare opportunity, Mother baboon musters strength for one final journey. The young escapes the crocodile's jaws, but in an instant, the crocodile switches targets and locks jaws onto Mother baboon's leg. The young runs ashore, trembling with leg wound. Another baboon pulls it into the troop's center. It survives, but the price paid doesn't belong to it. Underwater, Mother baboon still resists, but the pulling force increasingly tilts toward the predator. Bit by bit, she's drawn away from shallow water. On the bank, cries thin out, then cease completely. The baboon troop helplessly watches, unable to intervene. The outcome is decided and no second miracle occurs. On the water surface, the last ripples vanish. The water continues flowing, reflecting natural law that won't stop operating for losses. The baboon troop leaves the riverbank, quickly reestablishes formation, with the wounded young walking in the troop's center. Life continues despite carrying irreplaceable loss. The young is still too small. It doesn't fully understand what just happened, but survival instinct has deeply carved a life and death experience. In nature, victory sometimes is simply being alive. No heroes or villains, only existence continuing in life cycle. Below the river, the crocodile returns to familiar ambush position. It can fast for many weeks, but still patiently waits for prey. Persistence is its key survival weapon. Life by the water always exists in fragile balance, where action and waiting alternate, creating an endless cycle. In the distance, the baboon troop has found an area with food and gradually restores daily behaviors. But the formation is now missing one member. The young with leg wounds sits beside another female. It will grow up, will learn to survive, and someday will have to face this river once again. In the silence of the African plains, each species holds a role in nature's endless cycle. Life and death aren't opposites, but two parts of the same flow. From above, the East African savanna appears as an endless golden canvas, where the shadow of large wings glides silently in parallel with a dark streak moving close to the ground. Beneath an acacia tree, a pride of lions rests after a meal. Bloodstains still ring their mouths, completely unaware of the brown eagle circling overhead and gradually lowering its arc. Under the low grass nearby, a black mamba nearly 3 meters long slides across a trail, carrying in its fangs enough venom to kill 10 grown adults. The eagle suddenly folds its wings and dives, talons driving straight into the mamba's midsection. Wind screams through the feathers as the large shadow rapidly covers the grass below. Talons pin the target to the red dust. The mamba immediately coils in resistance, whipping its head around at extreme speed, its venom-loaded fangs ready to strike. The mamba tightens around the eagle's wing, locking it in place and leaving the eagle thrashing helplessly as the venomous fangs continue searching for an angle on the neck. The eagle pecks repeatedly into the snake's body, but each strike only causes the mamba to tighten further. Two bodies roll across the red earth, dust billowing in clouds, feathers and scales tangling together. The sound of the violent struggle causes the lion pride to raise their heads. Two females rise and move slowly forward, curiously watching the cloud of red dust rolling up along the trail. One lowers its muzzle toward the brawl. The mamba immediately releases the eagle's wing, rears its head high, spreads its hood wide, and lets out a loud hiss of warning. The lioness stops. It recognizes that what stands before it is not prey, but a venomous threat. The mamba slowly slides out of the red dust and disappears into the low grass. The eagle snaps upright, spreading wings that are now slightly misaligned. Both lions still stand nearby as it fans its neck feathers and opens its beak in warning after the life or death struggle. The two lions advance no further. The eagle quickly gathers itself and labors heavily off the ground, circling once before fading into the rising thermals above the savanna. Beneath the low grass, the mamba has vanished, leaving behind a patch of earth that even the top of the food chain chose to avoid. In the end, all three species walked away. No true winner, only creatures that understood survival, sometimes matters more than continuing the fight. Far from the red patch of earth, a secretary bird, nearly 1.3 meters tall, strides across the blazing grassland, its scale armored legs ready for snake hunts across the ground. For this bird, the legs are the weapon, thick scales resistant to venom and kicks of tremendous force, moving steadily through the dry grass in search of the next prey. Ahead, a cobra nearly 2 meters long slides across open ground. The secretary bird immediately halts, lowers its neck, and holds a safe distance. The cobra quickly rears up, spreads its hood wide, and opens its mouth in a threat display. But the secretary bird only steps slowly sideways, forcing the snake to rotate with it. The snake suddenly lunges forward, but the moment its body is fully extended, a strike like a thunderbolt drives straight into its midsection, slamming the cobra down onto the red earth. On the next attack, the secretary bird again leaps backward at the right moment and delivers a reverse kick into the oncoming head, sending the snake staggering. By the third exchange, the cobra is slower. A kick straight down to the top of the head sends the snake's body thrashing across the ground, unable to raise its neck again. The secretary bird delivers a few more decisive kicks, then picks up the cobra's body and walks on across the grassland, as though the hunt just completed was nothing more than a routine part of the afternoon. It will continue sweeping through the grass until dusk, using its long legs and patience to bring down one snake after another with precise strikes. The sun-scorched grassland belongs to those who hunt from above. But to the west, among red rocks and scorching thorn bushes, another snake hunter appears, one that works at ground level through pure speed. A semi-desert stretches with cracked red rock and scattered cactus, as a small shape darts through the gaps in the stones so fast that the dust has not yet risen before it is gone. That is the roadrunner, a bird that hunts with long legs, a tail like a rudder, and a ground speed exceeding 40 kilometers per hour rather than wings. Ahead, a desert snake slides across open ground. The roadrunner spots the prey and immediately changes course, driving straight toward it without slowing. The snake quickly coils into a defensive posture, but the roadrunner simply circles continuously, forcing the opponent to keep changing direction until the movements of head and body begin to fall out of sync. The snake's strike misses. The moment its head extends forward, the roadrunner has already looped behind it, driving its beak hard into the back of the neck and slamming the snake's body against the red rock. Keeping the prey gripped in its beak, the roadrunner repeatedly slams the snake's body against the rock until the entire body goes limp and stops responding. Right where the chase ends, the hunter begins eating its prey. Each portion of the snake's body disappears between strong jerks and steady swallowing. On this arid land, the window of survival is always brief. Just minutes ago, a living creature was finding its way to survive. Now it has become the energy source sustaining another life. Across the savanna and semi-desert, each bird hunts in its own way. One uses talons, one relies on the force of its kicks, and the roadrunner depends entirely on speed. Every snake hunt between savanna and semi-desert is a gamble, because just one successful bite from a black mamba or a cobra is enough to end the hunter permanently. The eagle survived that morning because the mamba's fangs glanced off the thick neck feathers. Had they pierced the skin, the venom would have brought it down from the sky within minutes. For the secretary bird, the leg scales are the final line between life and death, because if the cobra could reach the unprotected thigh, the outcome would be entirely different. The roadrunner is different. No armor, no grip strength, only raw speed. Every loop around the snake is a bet of its life for the sake of its young. The brown eagle perches on a dry branch, wings pressed to its body, waiting for the bruised muscles to recover after the struggle. Further out in the afternoon grassland, the secretary bird still paces slowly through the yellow grass, knowing snakes are most active as temperatures begin to fall. Across the semi-desert, the mother roadrunner continues driving through the scorching rock crevices to find food. And beneath the acacia tree, the lions still lie there. And every time the wind stirs the grass ahead, they immediately raise their heads and look toward the place where the mamba once disappeared. Tomorrow, the eagle will circle the sky again. The secretary bird will step through the yellow grass, and the roadrunner will continue racing through the red rock. But the snakes will continue to exist as well. The race between talon and venom has no finish line, only the next round. When the last ray of sunlight leaves the savanna, the mamba still slides silently through the wind-stirred grass, fast enough and venomous enough that no one wants to cross its path a second time. Sand surface temperature has exceeded 60 degrees. Air bent, turning everything distant into mirages flowing blurred on the horizon. Yellow scorpion seeks shade, nestling into rock crevice to avoid sun. Outside, under high-temperature rocks begin cracking from thermal expansion. Heat presses down on Sonoran like invisible weight. Owl hides in tree trunk avoiding sun. Under thornbush, jackrabbit presses flat to ground, dilating blood vessels in ears to radiate heat. But beneath scorching sand layer, ground surface shifts slightly. Horned lizard emerges, dusting sand with transparent eyelids before stepping into heat level. All other species are avoiding. It possesses osteoderm armor layer, helping adapt to harsh heat. Red ants crawl across nose and head spikes, while its body not yet warm enough to react. Tongue flicks out extremely fast, rolling up each ant, then swallowing whole. On dessert, energy-conserving hunting strategy, more important than pursuit speed. Horned lizard walks, and at cholla bush edge, another movement appears. Small burrow entrance stirs. Two long whiskers poke out, sensing ground vibrations. Desert mouse stands motionless before burrow entrance, only ears continuously rotating, detecting sounds. After seconds of vigilance, it finally steps into dangerous open space. Long hind legs help it leap far and change direction instantly. It dashes between mesquite bushes, exposing itself on bare sand surface. It's searching for seeds, but never losing vigilance about surrounding environment. For desert rodents, danger typically comes from above. Above, two golden eagles glide on thermal currents, barely needing to flap wings. They've appeared since ground began absorbing heat. With vision 8 times human, plus talons creating grip force over 2,800 pounds per square inch. Golden eagle has locked tight on small brown dot between 2 bushes right when it left burrow. Eagle tilts wings, adjusting descent trajectory, calculating wind and prey's running direction. Wrong angle causes failure and wastes energy on desert. On ground, mouse detects round shadow advancing on sand, immediately flees, changing direction, lunging toward a rock maze instead of running straight to familiar burrow. Eagle talons stab into sand where mouse just stood. It watches prey. Mouse continues running, carrying first trace, opening hunting signal. Mouse rushes into maze of stacked granite rocks, making eagle unable to approach. Shade reduces heat significantly, but this terrain is also shelter for other predator species. Rock rattlesnake has necrotic venom. Thanks to heat pit, it detects mouse through very small temperature difference before seeing and begins rattling tail. Mouse freezes. Ahead is snake. Behind is eagle. But instead of panicking, it calculates escape chance when snake strikes and misses, needing about 3 seconds to coil back. Opportunity will open. Mouse creates vibration, stimulating snake to strike first. When strike lunges forward, it leaps sideways, then passes through narrow gap in very short time. Right then, eagle lunges into rock gap following mouse direction. Large movement brings it into defense reflex range of agitated snake. Snake launches second strike. Fangs only graze eagle's chest feathers, forcing predator to spring back out, yielding rock maze to true owner. Mouse escapes maze from west side. It breathes heavily, legs beginning to feel heavy. Ahead is bare sand plain, but behind is pursuing eagle. Two eagles coordinate above. One forces direction, the other waits ready at strike angle, creating pincer position, leading mouse right into attack trajectory. Cactus branch makes it slip slightly, but it still struggles to keep running, driven into talon range, diving down from about 30 meters height. Just as the talons were about to make contact, the mouse spotted the hollow skull. Its hind legs kicked off, and it changed direction, diving straight in and vanishing as the talons snapped shut over the top of the cranium. The skull creates a natural shelter. The narrow eye sockets prevent the eagle's beak from reaching deep inside, while the bone layer keeps the temperature significantly lower than the open sand. Eagle perches on skull, continuously pecking into open gaps, but mouse still lies deep inside skull cavity. Tug of war between desert's strongest and hollow skull begins. 5 minutes. Sun scorches sand surface, but skull remains cool thanks to heat reflection and light convection. Meanwhile, eagle must continuously shift feet to force mouse to run out. After 10 minutes, one perched on cactus begins losing patience, scanning for other targets, while the other pecks one last time, but still powerless before skull. Finally, eagles fly away in turn, abandoning energy-draining hunt, leaving skull in desert midst with mouse still alive inside. Mouse pokes whiskers from eye socket checking vibrations and shadows on sand, then crawls out, dusts sand from fur, and runs to nearest burrow. Escape ends. By reflexes faster than eagle talons, body twist making snake miss strike, and a hollow skull lying right where no one expected. Eagles have ascended high again, and eyes still scanning. From afar, they detect new movement racing fast among cactus bushes. Zebra-tailed lizard, running at 30 kilometers per hour speed, black-white stripes bobbing. Being pursued by collared lizard, specialist eating smaller kindred, chasing behind. Collared lizard, with large head and powerful jaw force, completely focused on prey ahead, not at all recognizing predator shadow marked on sand. Zebra-tailed lizard dives underground. Pursuer behind stops in open area. It halts observing but doesn't see prey anywhere. Above, eagle has locked target early, waiting for exact moment lizard stops in open ground to dive from most advantageous attack angle. Collared lizard hears wind whistle behind, but reacts slowly. Body too hot, after chase making legs lose half speed. 2 meters become unreachable distance. Eagle talons clamp tight around lizard body and lift it from sand surface. Amid open space, with no rock gaps or shelter, all escape chances vanish. Eagle carries prey flying to nest on large cactus tree, while zebra-tailed lizard silently stays under sand, surviving by being faster than what once hunted it. Eagle perches on cactus tree feeding its young. Lost small mouse but gained larger prey instead. Enough one meal for its offspring. Desert food chain continues operating. Seeds feed mouse, insects feed lizard, lizard feeds eagle. Then decomposing carcass returns nutrients to soil and plants. Horned lizard lies pressed on warm rock after eating enough ants. Bone armor layer protects body, while blood squirting ability helps drive away many predator species. In cool burrow, mouse is moving, thanks to extremely efficient water concentrating kidney system, helping it live almost without needing to drink water amid arid desert. Rattlesnake still coiled. Slow metabolism helps it fast many days. Waiting for temperature to drop, then begins night hunting with heat pit. Dusk touches Sonoran. Sunlight gradually shifts to orange-red, while desert rocks begin radiating heat, absorbed throughout the long day. Desert changes shifts. Horned lizard prepares to bury itself in sand. Eagle stops hunting. Scorpion leaves rock crevice, and mouse pokes whiskers out burrow entrance again. Now is safest time. Rattlesnake crawls from maze, continuously flicking tongue and scanning heat. Where once was daytime shelter, now becomes nighttime hunting ground. Sonoran Desert spans over 300,000 square kilometers. With extreme temperature range, creatures here must adapt to daytime heat or nighttime cold to survive. Each species carries unique survival strategy, but all adaptations have limits. No one is perfect, only the most suitable.